perhaps more than 2,000 years ago. Maybe not 2,000 years ago. Stories of a great navigator Zheng He about 600 years ago are well known both in China and in Indonesia. He's a great pioneer in building everlasting, friendly relations between our two peoples. Through trade and exchanges, we learn from each other and share a lot common culture. I came to work here in Jakarta I mentioned 6 months ago. I try my best to read as I try my best to read as much as possible about your splendid culture. I found out that there are many similarities between us, such as emphasizing the virtue of modesty, courtesy, and family values. I learned a lot from your culture and believe there are much more for us to explore to each other. The more I read, the more I feel that we really need to understand each other's history and culture so that we can lay a better and a more solid foundation for relations to grow further. So, let's come to the first message of my speech. The Chinese government attaches great importance to Indonesia. We have established strategic partnership relations. The momentum of high-level exchanges between the leaders of our two countries has been enthusiastically maintained. President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono has visited China several times, and President Hu Jintao of China and Speaker of People's Congress Wu Bangguo visited your beautiful country in 2005 and 2010 respectively. My Premier Wen Jiabao came to your country twice last year. This is very special. There are frequent exchanges of ministerial level officials. All this demonstrates that China attaches great importance to Indonesia, and our relations on the political side are very strong. In my view, we should make it every effort to keep this momentum and make it even stronger. Economically speaking, our two nations have much more to share. China has 1.3 billion people and is a huge market for the world. Indonesia is the fourth largest country in terms of population, and its market is attracting thousands of investors to explore their opportunities. In this respect, China's policy is simple and clear-cut: to develop mutually beneficial economic relationship. Our trade from $3.6 billion in 1998 reached to $60 billion in 2011. It jumped 14 times in 13 years. What an amazing achievement. Please note, we achieved this goal while the European financial crisis is still spreading. Now China is the second largest trade partner of Indonesia. If oil and gas are not taken into account, China is the largest trade partner of Indonesia. We have set our target to reach $80 billion by the years of 2015. I'm pretty sure that we'll get there. Trade is important, but I think culture and people-to-people exchanges are even more important. Our relations should be a comprehensive one. In that respect, culture plays an even stronger and everlasting role. Culturally, as I have mentioned earlier, China and Indonesia have a lot in common. We should treasure our cultural heritages and promote deeper understanding and people-to-people exchanges. I'm pleased to note that in recent years, we have held a lot of cultural activities such as China Cultural Week, and we have allocated more scholarships for Indonesian students to study in China. The number from a few dozen to 200 a year. Last year when Premier Wen Jiabao was here, he announced that we will give 1,000 scholarships to the Indonesian students in 5 years. That means every year there will be 200 scholarships. That is a good sign for our relationship. More tourists are coming to this wonderful country. However, I still think we need to do more. I guess that there are still some Indonesians who do not know much about modern China, and some Chinese who hold outdated view about Indonesia. Dear students, in changing this situation, we need your willingness and input. Of course, we from the government side will do whatever we can to build trust and understanding of our two countries and further strengthen the friendly relations of our two great nations. Remember, your contribution in this field will be invaluable. Before I start to brief you on China's foreign policy, I think it is necessary to say a little bit about what a new China looks like. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China, especially since we started reform in 1978, China has made remarkable achievements. Just to give a few indicators that might help you to get a general picture. It takes just 30 years that China's GDP from at the bottom of the world list comes to number 2. The average income from a dozen of US dollars jumps to more than 4,500 US dollars per capita. China has become number 1 export country and world's biggest emerging market. More than 2 billion people have lifted from poverty. People's life expectancy has increased from 35 to 73.5. I think that I do not need to say more. Now I come to my second message on China's foreign policy of peace and common development. Recently, we published a white paper called China's Peaceful Development. In the changing world of today, all countries are connected in one way or another. We are facing common interests and challenges. China's interests, as well as Indonesia's ones, are surely bonded together in the rest of the world, with the rest of the world. Domestically, we try our best to seek economic development and social harmony, to meet the aspirations of people, to realize modernization, and to increase people's living standards. Internationally, we are doing all we can to maintain world peace and common development. They are mutually complementary. We believe that China's development will help promote world peace and development and vice versa, a peaceful environment of the world is very conducive to China's development. In the world, our foreign policy is for peace, common development, and cooperation, so that together we could build a peaceful, prosperous, and harmonious world. We have nothing to hide. We will never seek hegemony. That is written in our Constitution, which is a rare thing in the rest of the world, because we share the feelings of those countries who have suffered from it. Dear teachers and students, please allow me to emphasize a few key points on the peace and common development foreign policy. Namely, politically we advocate for mutual respect and consultations on equal footing. Like dealing with people, respect is the key. With respect, there will be more understanding. With respect, there will be more solutions to the problems. Countries should treat each other equally, however poor and weak. Respect for the territorial integrity and stick to the principles of non-aggression and non-interference in each other's internal affairs. All countries should abide by the UN Charter and the norms of international law. On the security area, we advocate for a new security concept. That is mutual trust, mutual benefit, equality, and cooperation. We should discard the trick of zero-sum game and to seek comprehensive, common, and cooperative security. The core of collective security system and the UN should be maintained. We should also stick to peaceful and consultative means to solve disputes, not to war or threat of war, and to work together to maintain world peace and stability. Economically, we advocate for a policy of mutual cooperation and mutual benefit, and strive for a balanced and win-win situation. We are firm to push a just, open, and non-discriminatory world multilateral trade system. We believe that the only way to realize common development and everlasting prosperity is to get rid of unbalanced development between the North and the South, to help underdeveloped countries to shred off poverty. Culturally, we should learn from each other, agree to disagree. The world is so colorful just because of its diversity. Otherwise, the world would be very dull, isn't it? Diversity in unity, like in Indonesian national motto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, is also pursued by the government and people of Indonesia. Diversity is our common legacy, and it is also a driving force for the development of mankind. We believe that with our common efforts, we can achieve our aim of building a colorful, diversified, prosperous, and harmonious world. Dear teachers and students, I think I'll be very satisfied if you could remember 2 or 3 sentences about my speech. That is, the relations between our 2 great countries are excellent, and we have more work to do to make it even better. China has made great achievements in the areas of politics, economy, culture, though it is still a developing country. Its world ranking is still around 100th in the list of per capita income. According to UN standard, we have 100 million and 1,000 people under poverty. More than 10 million people cannot enjoy the benefit of electricity, and 24 million people are still jobless. That means we have much more to learn and to do. One thing for sure, China is and still will continue to be a peace-loving country, a peace maintainer, fair international system builder, and a common development promoter. That is all I want to say. Thank you very much for your time and your kind attention. Terima kasih. Now I'd like to take a few questions. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vincent. Probably we will hear some policy address from Dr. Rizal Afandi Lukman, and then we'll take some questions from the students. Okay, so again, without further ado, I would like to introduce Dr. Rizal Afandi Lukman. Please remember to take notes of your question, because there is opportunity to actually raise questions to both speakers. So Dr. Rizal Afandi Lukman was born in Bandung in July 12, 1961, and he is now as the Deputy Minister for International Economics and Financial Cooperation of the Coordinating Ministry for Economic Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. His educational background is in 1986. He graduated from the Industrial Engineer from Bandung Institute of Technology of Indonesia. In 1993, he was a Magister in International Relation Programs at the International University of Japan, Niigata, Japan. In the year 2000, he graduated as a PhD in the International Development courses, which is in Nagoya University, Japan. And from 2001 till 2005, he was posted as the Director for Bilateral Economic Cooperation at the Coordinating Ministry for Economic Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. In 2005 till 2008, he was the Director for Asia Economic and Financial Cooperation at the same ministry. In 2008 until 2009, he was Assistant to Mr. President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono's Private Secretary at the Presidential Palace Office. In 2010, he was the Director for Multilateral Economic and Financial Cooperation and as the Acting Deputy Minister for International Economic and Financial Cooperation at also the same ministry. And since 2010 in November until currently, he is the Deputy Minister for International Economic and Financial Cooperation at the Coordinating Ministry for Economic Affairs. So this is a little background about our distinguished speakers. And now we would like to give the time to Ms. Dr. Rizal Afandi Lukman to please present your policy address.
Thank you very much, Ibu Juna, for nice introduction. Selamat pagi, Bapak dan Ibu sekalian. Very good morning to all of you. His Excellency, Mr. Liu Chuan, Charge the Affairs Minister Consular Embassy of the People's Republic of China. Yang kami hormati Bapak Ketut Surajaya, Secretary to the University. Yang kami hormati Bapak Bambang Sergei Lasmono, Dean of the Faculty of Social and Political Science of UI, Professor Amir Santoso, the distinguished speakers, fellow academia, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is really a great honor for me to speak at this international conference. So thank you for this opportunity to deliver an address on the rise of China and the future of regional affairs in East Asia. I'd like to congratulate the Faculty of Social Political Science of University of Indonesia in collaboration with Rich Muekang University and Peking University for hosting this conference dealing with very important and interesting topic. The rising role of China in global affairs, including East Asia, has dominated widespread discussions, particularly following its spectacular growth over the past 30 years since economic transformation in late 1970s, as just explained by Mr. Li Quan.